Hello and welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute-a-day podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse, recorded here in the dining room of the Bible Bistro, located in Sharonville, Ohio. Hey there, friends. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio right here in the Bible Bistro. As a matter of fact, this week we're going to be in the dining room of the Bible Bistro. And this week and next week we're going to be studying Psalm 102. I've divided this into two pieces. Two halves. This is a great psalm. This is a very instructive psalm for us. There's a lot of great theology here. The writing is masterful, as you can imagine, as it has been all along. Of course, this is God's inspired word, so we have the master himself writing these psalms for us, as penned by, well, we don't really know who. This is another orphanic psalm, although we have quite a lengthy introduction. The introduction says, a prayer of the afflicted when he is overwhelmed and pours out his sighing before the Lord. A prayer of the afflicted. That sounds like David. It sounds like Psalm 36, because that word afflicted can also mean poor or troubled or humbled. So David uses that word in 36, also in 34. It's a Davidic term, but it could be that someone else has written this. We just don't know. Don't have an autograph. Nothing here says of David or of Asaph or of any of the writers that we've had so far. Just a prayer. So this is a prayer as contrasted to a psalm or a song. We could say this is a miktam because we're going to learn something here. And we start off, and we're going to read verses 1 and 2 today, with this very intense cry of the psalmist to the Lord to come and hear and answer. And we have some of those imperative verbs here. He comes boldly to the throne of grace, and he makes a request. So let me read for us 1 and 2. That will identify his request for us, and then tomorrow we're going to pick up with 3, and 3 all the way down through 11, and it's going to take us the majority of the week to make it through all of that. But 3 all the way down to 11, we have his trouble. His trouble is outlined, and he is very specific about what's going on with him in a sort of general way. We'll look at that as we move along here. But today, verses 1 and 2. Hear my prayer, O Lord. Let my cry come unto thee. Hide not thy face from me in the day when I am in trouble. Incline thine ear unto me. In the day when I call, answer me speedily. So we have this prayer, and the prayer here is that the Lord would, number 1, hear. Number 2, let my cry come unto thee. So we have his request. Hide not thy face there in verse 2. Incline thine ear. Answer me speedily. So you see you can almost taste the heartbeat of the psalmist here, can't you? He's desperate for the Lord to hear him. Of course he is. This is a prayer of the afflicted. This is the prayer of the poor man, the troubled man, the distressed man, the man who is, just out of sorts. And we're going to find out, as I said, the rest of the week, what's going on with him. So we have this prayer, and he asks the Lord to come. And notice how he ends verse 2. Come to me speedily. Another theme, one of the themes that we're going to see, there are several themes actually, but one of the major themes in this entire psalm, the entirety of 102, is this idea of the day. The day, yeah. So here he comes in verse 2, and he says, in the day when I'm in trouble, in the day when I call, answer me, for my days are consumed as smoke. So he has a specific day in mind when he's making this prayer, but he's worried about his days. And then he begins there in 3 with my days are consumed, and then in verse 11, my days are like a shadow that declines. So he's worried about the days that are coming. So he's in the present moment, in his closet, saying, in the day when I call, answer me speedily. And then he begins to focus on the Lord's days. The Lord's days are long and eternal and generational, but his days are shortened. You see that in verse 23. So there's this interplay really between the day in which he's crying out and the days that are coming, and he's worried about those days coming because he knows his trouble will shorten those days. Okay, I'm out of time. Join me tomorrow and we'll jump right into 3, 4, and 5 here on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. For more fresh and delicious Bible studies, podcasts, books, and more, check out the Bible Bistro online and on YouTube. Join me again next time for Daily Dose Radio.